Hello, everyone. Welcome to Project KALM. My name is James. I'm your host, and today we have a very special guest. I don't want to mess up the introduction, so I'll let Noah introduce himself. Noah, can you give the audience a bit of a background on who you are and what you do, please?
Yeah, of course. So my name is Noah Gnibus. I live in Pennsylvania. I grew up in a small town called Mount Pleasant. It's kind of on the western side of PA. Not too many people really know about it, but it's my hometown, and I'm proud of it. Right now, I study business management, and I dual major in marketing. I'm also going to do probably a minor in communication, and I'm a big athlete there, wrestler up at UPJ. Wrestling fans, I'm sure you guys know the school, so really excited to continue my athletic career there and really working hard.
Two majors, and you're about to throw in an extra minor?
Yeah, man, it's a busy schedule, but with wrestling, it's common to do 5 years, so it's easy to squeeze it in. It's hard to stay
Oh,
on track with
man.
certain things, but when you do it and you have the right people around you, it's easy to do.
That's true. Definitely the people around you can either lift you up or put you down. So it sounds like you have a pretty good community around you. So that's really cool. What got you into wrestling?
So basically, my dad was a big wrestler back in the day, and
Mhm.
he wrestled at Clarion University. And I started growing up, and he would just help coach the youth before I was even able to wrestle or probably even walk. And one day it was funny. We just started watching The Karate Kid, and I started trying to do like crazy karate moves and everything else, messing around. And I was starting to get too much energy, running around the house being an idiot. And he goes, "Hey, man, I got a sport for you. I think you'd like to try." And I'm like, "All right, let's see what's up." And there we were going into wrestling practice first day, and that was kind of just a straightforward sense after it. So I mean, it was kind of running the family to do it. My pap did it before
Yeah.
him, and he was a big football player for Arkansas. He played there, and then he transferred. He said, he just wasn't putting up the stats there, and he went to Youngstown State. But he loved the game of football and loved wrestling, and then my dad got into it, and there was me. So just kind of worked out there.
Coming from a full family of athletes, how old were you when you did your first like wrestling practice? Practice you probably did like way before you even
Yeah,
remember it, like playing with your dad, right? But
yeah, oh
official
yeah.
wrestling practice.
Official wrestling practice, I was probably 4.5, 5. So it's pretty young, you know what I mean? Long time, long time. But yeah, I mean, that
Was
was,
it?
like I said, I was barely walking.
Yeah. Was it? Do you remember your first takedown, or like I think that's what it's called? How did your first
Yeah,
takedown feel?
I was big into it's called a double leg. So it's like you're grabbing both
Yeah.
legs, you snatch them and pull them. That's how you take the guy down. That was my go-to shot all the time when I was in elementary school. Like that was my favorite move. I couldn't tell you my first takedown. I'm sure it was me messing around with my dad in the backyard and having some fun, but I couldn't tell you the exact time or day whenever I was doing it.
That's true. Wow. Yeah. Well, if you're doing things for that long, I can't imagine how good you are. And guys, I know it's being a bit modest. He's one of the best college wrestlers here in the US. I know you're a sophomore, I believe,
Yeah, redshirt
or
sophomore.
freshman.
So redshirt sophomore, so I have 2 more years UPJ, which I'm
Okay,
very excited about. So
got it. Well, guys, keep watching the news. He's going to be in that number one spot within the next 2 years. So I'm super excited for when that day comes.
yeah, we got a
But
lot
when
of
it
work
comes
to
to
do. We're
rest,
getting there. We this year I made it to nationals, which was awesome. I was really excited to do that and kind of see what my competition was looking like. But
yeah.
overall, I think they had me at number 13 the bracket, so we got some improvement to do. But there's a lot of older guys in that bracket with a little bit more experience than me in college, and with these upcoming years, I'm excited to see where it takes me and the people that have my support.
How do you what's kind of like the process of getting better in wrestling? Is it are you like building muscle, or are you like practicing technique? I'm sure it's a combination of
Yeah.
both, but what's the process for you?
Yeah. So for me right now, technique's always a big thing, but some coaches they stick to the fundamentals. It's always fundamental, fundamental this, which I think is important.
Mhm.
But I think wrestling's transition in more of a flow state where instead of thinking about what you're going to hit next, it's just muscle memory where you're just going for a shot here, you miss it, you're going here, set up here. It's so when you get that flow state where it's boom, 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 boom without even thinking about it, that's when you start to really enter that high level of wrestling.
Got it. And to get that flow, so you just have to do it so many times that your body just remembers it. So as soon
Repetitive
as
and
like,
repetitive. Yes. Yes. Yeah, it can get annoying at sometimes,
yeah,
but you know you need it. You know what I mean?
yeah, when you're just walking around on campus and someone accidentally puts their hand on your shoulder and you accidentally take them down or
You're
something
ready
like
to grab.
that.
Yeah, you're ready to grab it. Our coach always made a joke. He always said, "I want you guys doing stance of motion in the classroom." I'm like, Coach, we got other stuff to do. It's not all about that. But so it was always funny.
That is definitely funny. Well, I know like wrestling, it's not just like physical. There's to any sport, there's always like a huge mental part of it, right? So when you have like a tough tournament coming up, or even just going through the tough training, what do you do to keep your head straight?
There's a lot of so I'm really connected with God. I'm a Christian, and I really believe just putting my hands in God and allowing Him to take that process. And the other thing I really believe is there's not really a path that you can go on as the wrong path. I think everything leads to where you're supposed to be in life. So I really connect my spirit to God and really read the Bible and kind of connect with my fellow teammates in that sense. But beyond that, definitely like keeping a routine. A lot of people will say, you know, they'll try to give you different things to switch it up. But I can tell you since high school, I probably kept the same routine of just waking up at a certain time, maybe getting a little workout and just keep the blood flowing. Um, Eating the right foods, obviously, because you're not going to make weight if you're eating junk or whatever you want. Um,
Yeah,
but in that sense, it's difficult to keep a routine sometimes because your classes and schedules are all over the place. So once you
yeah.
recognize a certain way to keep that routine, then it really helps. So that's really where kind of I'm at right now. I'm staying focused.
I really love that. I love like how you mentioned like there's more than one ways to reach a destination, and just things in life just never go exactly how you plan it, right? It's never a straight shot there. You sometimes make a left here, make a right there, and you sometimes take a few steps back. But as in the end, it's as long as you're inching closer to the goal day by day, week by week, that's what matters most.
Yeah,
And
yeah. I think
definitely,
I think a lot of people. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. It was cutting up. You
no, no,
good?
go ahead, go ahead.
All right.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
think a lot of people get stressed out on day to day life without understanding that if
Mhm.
things go wrong, it doesn't mean it's the end of the world. You have another
Yeah,
path to run, and it's going to teach you a lesson at the end of the day. And I've been
yeah.
through certain instances like that, but here I am today, and I'm doing successful in wrestling, and I'm where I want to be, and school's going great, and I have a great family and background. And look, I met you, so it's everything's been going great.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I'm also a Christian as well, so I believe that everything happens, like all the ups and downs, do happen for a reason. Like if there's a down, it's opportunity for you to learn something, to grow from it, and it's going to set you up for a higher percentage of success the next time you give things a try, right?
For sure, 100%.
Yeah. Well, balancing both academics and sports, that's not an easy task. What were some of the struggles you were running into before you tried out Calm?
Yeah. So in high school, it's a small town school. So classes weren't as serious. I went to school to BS with my friends and have a good time. And then when you go into college, you're like, it's a rude awakening. You're like, oh my, like I'm here to actually, study school and make sure I do the right things. So that was a little tricky coming in because I wasn't as organized as I am now. And the planning part of it, of knowing how I'm going to balance academics with wrestling and just my daily life, that was really tough off the start. And I would have to say nutrition a little bit because you're on your own. You can eat whatever you want.
Yeah.
I'm not a big drinker or partier. I never really was. My parents led me on the right path with that stance. But learning that transition and the group you're going to hang out with UPJ, all the guys are straightforward. You have coaches that are surround you, alumni. They make sure you're on the right path. But if I didn't have them or the people around me, it probably been a little bit really tough. But having them with experience and being there to teach me on what's right and what's wrong really helped.
That's good. Definitely a great support system. And anytime you have to make like or anytime you have to do something new in life, or it's like transitioning from high school to college, in the beginning, it's always going to be uncomfortable until you have enough reps in, and then it becomes more routine, and you know what's right, what's wrong, and also you have people telling you what's right or what's wrong, so that next time you don't have to make that it's it becomes muscle memory, just like how
Right.
when you do the techniques so often. Yeah.
For
Well,
your
how did
story,
you?
if you don't mind me asking, how
How,
was it for your story? Was it hard for you to like transition into Calm? What happened? Like, was there any business ideas before that, or how'd you shoot into the avenue? If you don't mind me asking.
well, transitioning into calm was definitely if, even until now, it's the scariest move because you're about to throw away a stable job and income for this vision you have that may or may not work. Um, but I I just have more importance in achieving the vision. And the job that I quit was I was getting paid extremely well. I was in the mid six figures, and to go from that to $0, and
Right.
essentially I'm still at $0 because we're still in the beginning stages of the company. It's definitely very painful, but when pain comes, there's you I also feel like relief, and I also feel like, oh, this is my calling in other areas. So like pain comes, and comfort also comes at the same time in different aspects of life. So now, like, finances are definitely it's a lot harder, but then I feel more motivated to, like, I can work 16 hours in a day without a problem. I'm like, oh, I'm going
Wow.
towards this mission. I'm trying to change the world, and I love what I do now. And so, yeah,
Of
it's just
course.
kind of I'm just figuring it out as I go too, because I'm only like 3 years into or being a full-time entrepreneur. I quit my job last year, so about a little bit over a year being a full-time entrepreneur, and I'm still in that uncomfortable stage where I'm learning what works, what doesn't work. And one hard thing is I don't have that support system yet, because I feel like I'm not at the stage where I'm good enough to make connections with the people I want to be. But
Right.
I'm a little bit too different from my current friends because none of them are entrepreneurs too. So I'm like in this weird limbo of just learning everything myself, learning through YouTube videos, learning through podcasts, and I'm just burning my hand on the stove and like, oh, that one doesn't work. That stove is hot. And then I'll try this one. It's like, oh, this one seems cool, and oh, it seems like this one's working. Let me double down on it. And there's a lot of stress because like at any point, everything you put in, like the tens of thousands of hours you put in, can honestly just vanish in the blink of an eye if you just if you let go of the pedal. So you just got to keep the grind and keep it moving forward.
Well, I like that. I can tell you that your product works great, and I'm sure we'll get into it a little bit more. But you guys are going to be really successful, in the future, and just how you are as a stand-up man. And I know I'm younger; I got a lot learning to do, and I'm sure I'll learn that from you. But also, the other thing is as an entrepreneur, you're running your own thing. You don't have somebody telling you what to do. So, that's got to be
Yeah,
important. I'm kind of looking for that kind of route in the future because, when you have a boss telling you what to do every day and you become a number, there's more to life than that. So. That's really cool.
yeah. Yes, sir. Well, I'm super excited to see if you have the discipline from like doing wrestling and doing your double major plus a minor, all that soft skill of just being able to have a routine, being able to just eat healthy, or just being able to exercise, all that carries into the future, and and it's gonna it's gonna help you at times when you don't expect it to help you. You're like, oh wait, like like me being able to wake up at 4 or 5 a.m. in the morning to train. Now I could wake up at 4 or 5 a.m. To get the grind in and things like that. It all plays out.
Yeah, and I think also is people don't realize like they're like, oh, I woke up at 4 a.m. for a week. Things are going to change. I mean, it's consistency. You got to do it every single day. And
Yeah,
when that time changes, though, you're going to be craving to wake up every day at 4 a.m. Whether that's you start winning
yeah.
more, you start putting some more dollars in your pocket. So I think that's really important consistency for people to realize. That's to become successful in life.
I think, dude, you're 100% spot on with that. So like whenever people want to try something new, like for example, if they want to like improve their mental health, they want to grow muscles, they have like a shoulder pain they want to get rid of, and they have to do PT. There's this period in the beginning where you, despite doing the right actions, you don't see results. And then that's when a lot of people quit because they're gonna go like, I meditated for 1 week and I didn't see any results. But to anyone else that's kind of like tackling on all these new good habits into your life and you're not seeing results, like my advice is just keep with it. Don't give up because it's happening. Like the changes are happening in the background, right? For example, I meditated for I think like 18 months before I noticed the difference.
Wow. Wow.
And then I was like, and so many days, I'm like, what the heck am I even doing? And then I
Right.
just have to constantly remind myself, I'm like, dude, there's so many studies out there, and there's billions of people that meditate or breath work or do some type of mindfulness out there. Like, there has to be a reason like everyone does this. So if it's not working for me, it's not that meditation itself is broken. It's just that I haven't done it long enough or I'm not doing it properly. So then you make constant adjustments. You just kind of stick with it. And when the results do come, that's when it becomes addicting. It's like, oh, my mental health is finally starting to improve. Like, I like this. I want to keep this going. Or when you first get that first bicep vein from working out, you're like, oh, or you get a little bit of your abs starting to show you. You're like, oh, I like
Right
the
there.
results, and yeah, that's when it gets a little bit easier. If you can make it into a routine, even when you're not seeing the results, that can set you up for success. It's hard, but it's anything in life that's worth doing is difficult. That's how I see it.
Yeah, I mean, there's no easy path in life that's going to be a straight
Yeah,
road where you're just riding your bike down it. It's my dad's always said that it's always going to be curves, bumps, hills. You're always going to fall, crash, but it's
yeah,
just about getting back up and that consistency of doing it over and over and over again. So that's really cool. I got to get into meditation. I do a little bit of yoga to kind of clear my mind and focus a little bit on meditation
yeah,
through that. But that's cool, man. I didn't know you did a little bit of meditation. It's really neat.
yeah. It's it's just like an additional, especially when I take it with my morning scoop of calm. Like I'm just naturally so stressed. I overthink everything. Like all the things that can go wrong, it's going through my mind, which is
Yes.
why I tried all these tricks and tips to help calm my mind. And definitely meditation is it's one of those things like you do it for like 10 minutes, 10-15 minutes in the morning, and it like when all these thoughts come, you can kind of distance yourself and you go like, oh, that's a negative thought, and rather than like ruminating on it, you just kind of like let it go. And it's and calm is the way I view calm is kind of like meditation in the bottle as well, and it just helps me keep my mind straight because I don't want to be making too many like emotional decisions because those are the ones that kind of bite you later on, and I want to keep things in a logical, cool-headed way, especially if I'm trying to like build a company, right?
Well, yeah, and for
Oh,
sure, Calm. I mean, before I started, taking Calm, like you said, you're always thinking about the worst of every scenario. Oh my gosh, like I
yeah,
studied for this test. But what if they're different questions? Or what if I go into practice and I'm 10 pounds overweight? Or what if I'm doing this? Or what if a competition pops up and I'm not ready? And
yeah,
it's weird because you're right. It's like I took Calm, and not that it all goes away, but you're focused, and it lessens. You're like a weight comes off your chest. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm able to breathe. I'm able to relax. I'm
mhm,
able to focus on what I'm doing, and I'm enjoying it. Because when you have high stress, the love of the sport or the love of school, whatever you love to do, it comes a burden, and
yeah.
it's like you don't enjoy it anymore. So that I can't thank you enough for introducing Calm, especially to me as an athlete. It's transitioned my life completely, and I'll use it every day now. After seeing the results.
That's awesome. I know for calm, like for different people, like it takes different times for it to kick in. I mean, there's like 8 billion of us, right? Like we have different
Right.
weights, we have different severity of symptoms and things like that. When you started calm, when were you like 5 days in when the needle started to turn? How long did it take you?
I'd probably say like maybe 5 to a week, maybe after that.
Yeah,
But obviously, once you start taking it, then I'm not stopping it. It's just consistent throughout. But I'd say probably about a week, and then it's not like an instant like boom, but like you realize everything is becoming easier throughout the week, and you're not thinking about those extra things that you would have thought about the week before. Or, just stupid things like what am I going to eat
yeah,
today, or how am I going to get here, or things that you shouldn't even be worrying about in the first place. So
yeah,
it's really cool.
yeah. I think yeah, if you do get started on meditation, that's kind of like how meditation feels like as well. It helps you kind of like distance things as well, like all those like negative thoughts, and kind of see things a more logical way. And it's
Well, yeah, no,
I
I
guess
get exactly what you're saying. Like people need to use
yeah,
calm to understand what we're talking about because it's
yeah,
it's a transition. Even like I even have more energy to wake up in the day because I take it in the morning and it's just like not that it's straightforward like it's like caffeine. I'm just like I'm more focused and I'm ready to accomplish the
yeah,
goals of the day. If that makes sense. And I think that's another important thing is writing down your goals, kind of implementing a scheduled plan. When I had a lot of anxiety and stress throughout the day, I would write a planner out and say, all right, you need to, it's just small things. Make the bed. You make the bed, you complete your goal. Eat some breakfast, eat breakfast. And it's just little check marks throughout the day that really just kind of pick up your mentality of completing things and, achieving your goals. So it's neat. But, Calm has definitely helped me realize certain goals and get me to that point right now.
yes, sir, yes, sir. Well, that's exactly what we're intending to do. I mean, there's no such thing as like a miracle pill that's gonna wash away all of anxiety or things like that. But when it comes to like managing our mental health or stress, it's all about having as many tools as you can to kind of manage it for different situations, right? And calm and like having a routine is one of those tools. Exercising is one of those tools, and calm is just like another one of those tools to just kind of help you live your best life. I want to circle back on the routines. So it sounds like you have a lot of routine. You have your routine kind of dialed down at the moment. For a person out there who is trying to balance a lot in their lives, for because so you're balancing a lot in your life right now.
Yeah.
What's a good routine? One or two routines that they can get started with. That might be a good first move.
Yeah. For me, I like taking a shower in the morning. I think it's like a restart. And it's
Yeah,
some people like cold showers, and a lot of guys on my team will, use cold shower ready up their day. But yeah, it's a little tough for me. I'd rather just get in a hot shower and maybe for the last minute or half, 30 seconds, just throw a little bit of cold water and just get me ready to go. But that's kind of my go-to right off the bat. And then I would have to say maybe just a workout, maybe a solid workout. And even if you don't get a workout like yoga or stretch, something that's going to get your body moving. Because I feel like if you don't have your body in the right mindset, then you're going to feel like crap all day. You're not going to want to do the right things and
yeah,
maybe not eating the right foods and putting the right nutrition in your body. And another thing just to add on is UPJ is a little cold and the sun's really not out much, but get outside, enjoy the sun. I don't know
yeah.
wherever, people are living or what area they live in, but I think it's important to get some fresh air in your lungs and just kind of take it in and enjoy life for itself rather than stress beyond your workday.
I love it. All three of those things are stuff that I have in my toolbox. The cold shower, I know exactly what you mean. It's like it's painful, and I
Oh,
can't do a full 10-minute cold shower as well. But I do exactly what you said. I do like a hot shower, and I do the last minute of cold. And when I'm counting that minute, I count fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
yeah.
7.
Yeah,
but
there's no Mississippi's in between.
but then
It's right off the bat.
no. But like that, especially if I'm like, because everyone has those days when you just wake up and you just feel like what the heck is going on. But then a cold shower just like resets everything. But if we're like at work or if we're like not at home, like we don't always have access to a cold shower, which is why I always go back to having multiple tools, right? Because having a walk out in the sun might be something that's more readily available for you, or having like a scoop of calm, or like having breath work. Different tools work best for different situations.
Right. And I think that's important too, because, we were getting at before is not everything's going to work out perfect for that day. Certain things, maybe you're rushing
Yeah,
on time. Maybe you woke up a little late because you want to get out of bed. So just kind of having backup plans that can make you feel that you still accomplish those goals and still giving something like a routine that's going to motivate you for the rest of the day, basically.
yes, sir. Love it. Cool, cool. Well, let's get into the three speed rounds.
Yeah,
I
of course.
know. Yeah, it's just random questions I thought of just to lighten things up as we wrap things up here. What is your favorite thing to do outside of wrestling?
So I love to go in the summer, especially because wrestling season starts in the fall and it goes the whole way around in the spring. But summer is my favorite thing is to go out on the lake, just enjoy the sun and kind of just spend time with family. Family's what I surround my life around and God, obviously. But I find that to be very important to
Yeah.
me. And it's where I like to spend most of my time. Maybe getting some water skiing in or some tubing, maybe some rope swings. But that's what I like to do during the summer. That's my go-to.
Heck yeah, that sounds super fun. Second question.
Yep.
I know wrestling has like a strict diet regimen, especially when it's training season or a tournament's coming up. What's your favorite go-to cheat meal after all that's over?
I would have to say a nice Chipotle burrito. I love Chipotle. It's not really too much of a cheat meal because there's some healthy things in there if you're getting the right thing. But that or
Yeah.
a nice large Domino's pizza, I love Domino's, but I could crush one of them right after a weigh-in.
Oh, dude. You know how there's like Domino's, Pizza Hut, Papa John's. I think Domino's is the best out of all of
Oh, I
those.
agree. And there's cheap deals too all the time that I'm catching and coupons I'm using.
Yeah.
So especially as a college student, you're always low on funds, so it's definitely a help.
Yeah. Two topping, two medium pizzas for $5.99 each. I think that was that was
That's
pretty good
exactly
while I
what it
was in
is. Which
college.
that's a hell of a deal. You go to Papa John's, you're paying about
It
$13 there,
is.
like $6.
Yeah.
So,
But last question. I'm sure there's a lot of physical pain that goes into wrestling. So, what is your go-to recovery tool?
yeah, I like that. So we do a lot of yoga actually at UPJ. She's in there
Mhm.
once or twice a week, and that helps a ton because there's a lot of shoulder pain and knee pains for a lot of guys, and when you stretch them out, gets you ready the day before. So I really do that a lot, and there's a lot of guys that actually do cold plunges. So, but I'm like a little iffy about it because it's just cold, and I'm like I don't really feel like being in there midwinter. I'm gonna walk outside. I'm probably gonna get sick.
Yeah.
So I do a lot of like saunas. I like sauna or like a hot bath with
Okay.
Epsom salts. That's probably like my big recovery is like
Mhm.
because you're losing weight too. You're sweating a lot. But probably like a hot bath with some Epsom salt too. That's a really big thing I like to do.
That's good. Yoga, stretching, a sauna, and a hot bath with
Um,
what type of salt?
Epsom salts. I mean, you can get
Uh,
different ones with different oils and stuff, but some make you
yeah,
smell nice. Some just help improve muscle soreness.
let's go. I'll definitely give that a try. I'm always sore. As a person who's been working out for like almost 11 years now, I've never had like a week when I'm not sore since I go so so one part of my body is at least a little bit sore.
That's good though. That means you're growing on top of that. That's good. I've always looked at soreness as
Yeah,
a good thing.
yeah,
You might suck walking around all day or, moving things, but it's a good thing knowing that you're just growing.
yeah. It feels like you've accomplished something. And
Right.
I know what you mean. I love it as well.
Yeah.
Well, that wraps it up. Noah, I really appreciate you for taking the time to hop on. If any of you guys have any questions for Noah, leave a comment down below. I'll make sure to get answers from him. I'll do my best to get answers for him. But yeah, really appreciate you taking the time to hop on.
Well, thank you. And I appreciate, you allowing me to join and reaching out. And it means a lot. And to the audience out there, use Calm. Trust me, it works.
Thank you for that. Well, that's it. Everyone else, have a healthy and happy day. Peace.